Nick Caserio better have a major move stashed away for draft day.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what I say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work, work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of quarter to three. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Boots on and lace.
Greetings and salutations. Give me 1 second. I should have done this, but I got a cup. Purple stuff. Oh no, I'm not sipping on I'm not sipping on no purple stuff. Not at all. Look, y'all remember that song? Throw your hands high, waving from side to side. Throw your hands high, waving from side to side. Purple stuff. Y'all know what purple stuff is, right? What's going on? Y'all know what that purple stuff is, right? So for those of y'all who don't know what purple stuff is, that's lean, right? That's lean. And I ever tell y'all my story about lean? You know, y'all give me a second. Let me switch hats. So in my fraternity, right? You're not supposed to double your payroll. So I got H here and the H here, and I'm doubling my payroll. Let me not double my payroll. Let me do it like this. I don't want to double my payroll, man, because I got an H on right here. So if I got an H right here, I can't have an H on over there. So I would tell you my story though. I listen. I know I'd have told y'all my story about. Okay, so they call it purple drink, you know, but it's lean, right? It's lean. Barbitazine, cough syrup, right? So let me tell you about my first encounter with purple drink. I'll never forget. I was working at Foot Action, and this is back when we used to get 5% commission on everything, right? We used to get 5% commission on everything. So like when Jordan came out, like you know how you see like the retro Jordans now, you got to go on the app and all that. Well, we used to have Jordan days, and so you know if you worked at a shoe store, and you know Jordan Day was the day, and so you getting yourself ready, you getting yourself prepared. You are at the uh at the store the day prior. You already know, hey, you trying to get the early shift because you know they finna come in here, they want them J's. You got the dope boys coming in there smelling like everything, smelling like outside. They were so gone sometimes they pull their money out like this and they just say like, all right, let me get size 10 and a half, 12. I need kid size 2, size 6, and I need outfits to go with all that. All right, man. You like shh, choo, 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 choo. You hustling, right? Because you trying to get that. You trying to make sure that you can get that commission. So you moving around and you making sure you gonna go and you gonna get that commission. And so you getting that 5%, man. 5% is a lot at that time, especially. So we had the bright idea that the night before Jordan Day, we decided that we was gonna sip on a little something. We was gonna double cup it up, right? We was gonna have some purple drink. We was gonna have some lean, right? We decided that that's what we was gonna do. Now, mind you, I'd never had it before, right? I'd never had it before, so I tried it. I was like, you know what? I ain't tripping. Let me try it, right? So me and my boys, I'm not gonna say their names because they're happily married with kids, and I don't want to incriminate them right now. They family think that they are some mighty fine guys, so I'm not gonna incriminate them right now. So the night before, we get the cup. Well, I mean, sorry, we got our cups and we got the pint. And so how you supposed to do it is you got that, you got the soda, and then you got the Jolly Rancher that you put in there, right? So me, I got peach and a green apple Jolly Rancher, right? So I got that. They pouring it in there. So I'm just because it tastes like peach soda to me. So I'm drinking. I was like, oh man, this ain't nothing, bro. This ain't nothing. So I'm taking it, drinking it. Hey man, let me get one more. Gave me one more. They said we can't get you no more. We can't get you no more. Can't get you no more. I was like, wow, bro, this tastes good. So I'm sitting there, right? So I'm cool, I'm chilling, whatever the case may be. You know, night goes on. We got to be at the store at 6 o'clock. So we out till like 2 in the morning. So we get there right the next day. Bam, store opens up. So it didn't hit me when I was in the car. It didn't hit me when we was at the club. It hit me when we was at work. So I'm standing there and I could hear the people talking to me. And I thought my body was moving to the back to go get the stuff. And I ain't left my spot. They talking to me. And I was like, all right. Well, you need a what? All right. I don't know. I'm gone, but I ain't gone nowhere. So I'm just standing there. All right, whatever, you got it. So my manager was like, hey man, what you doing? Oh, my bad. Well, what's up? What's up? So I snap out of it, right? Next time I come back around, hey man, we need such. I'm like, all right. Cause in my mind, I'm moving, but my body ain't gone nowhere. So yes, I was leaning, I was gone. So my manager put me back in the clothes. What's up, Marcus? My manager put me back in the clothes. And then I'm back in the clothes section. And by the time I get to the clothes section, I'm gone. I'm leaning all over the racks. You ain't supposed to lean over the racks. People come back there trying to find matching outfits to go with their J's. And I'm like, he's like, you good, man? What's wrong with you? I was like, I don't feel good, man. That's why I ain't moving too hot, man. It must have been something I ate last night. And I ain't gonna lie, boy, that lean had me bent. First time, last time, only time. I only need to try it once. I I only needed to try lean one time to let me know that it was not for me. It wasn't for me. So with that being said, this ain't no purple stuff. This is just a purple cup. All right. We got a little something in the cup because it's Texans happy hour, man. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right. You tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media and follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere. What's going on, y'all? Y'all good? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this damn thing because, like, listen, let me tell y'all something. If you are not strong-minded and will do the research for yourself, think for yourselves, go out and find out the information for yourselves, you'll let a lot of people lead you down the wrong road. You will let a lot of people lead you down the wrong road, and especially in sports. And the one thing that I've noticed about in sports is that the more technology evolves, the lazier and lazier the average fan gets. The more technology evolves, the lazier people get. And so now when they pick this up, they just be like, oh, well, such and such said this. So I'm just going to say, hey, well, if he said it, it must be good. Or if she said it, it must be good. And no, half the time, no. Listen. We know that the Houston Texans traded Kenyon Green to the Philadelphia Eagles for Kenyon Green in the draft pick and got back safety CJ Gardner Johnson and a draft pick. Okay. You got rid of Kenyon Green. Cool. Got back a safety, somebody that's going to be a day one starter. Cool, I got that. The whole premise around Kenyon Green was he was lazy. Kenyon Green couldn't block. He was one of the worst offensive guards in the league. It was a waste of a draft pick. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. And I'm like, cool, I get that part. I'm not tripping on that. Kenyon Green even said it himself. I got it on video right here. I got it on video. He said, hey, Sarge, I was pulled for ineffective play. I should have been pulled for ineffective play. I was not playing good. That ain't on nobody but me. Cool. Shit, the fans know too. Fans looking at the same thing. And you use the year one excuse that you was a rookie. I got that part, going up against some very good defensive tackles. Year two, you got hurt. Year three, you come back. Your first year in the system, but you just didn't put good things on film. You didn't get I'll cheers your glass with my bowl. You just didn't put good things on film and on tape. Kenyon Green didn't, right? He did not. He didn't put good things on tape. He did not look effective on the field last season, and he got hurt. And even when he came back from being hurt, they didn't put him back on the field. I think that the last time Kenyon Green played was week 18 against the Tennessee Titans. I think that's when it was. Week 18 against the Tennessee Titans. So I get it. You pull him off the field for ineffective play. You pull him off the field and say that he ain't no good. I mean, not they didn't say he's no good, but the fans are saying he ain't no good. We'll get rid of him. We don't want him on our team. Get him off our team. Get him off our team. Got it. So the Houston Texans got rid of him, traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles. Gone. Kenyon Green is no longer with the Houston Texans, right? Everybody is happy. We don't need a player like Kenyon Green on our team. We don't need Kenyon Green on our team. And then Nick Caserio turns right back around, and trades with the Minnesota Vikings and brings back Kenyon Green Ingram, or Ed Ingram Green, however you want to put it. Because if you didn't like the play of Kenyon Green, how in the hell do you like the play of Ed Ingram? I don't get it. And it's crazy because they were both in the same draft. That's the craziest part about it. They were both in the same draft. But for those of you all who don't like Kenyon Green and Ed Ingram are the Spider-Man meme. They're pointing at each other. They are great in run blocking. Ed Ingram is a very good run blocker. Kenyon Green is a very good run blocker. Where they struggle at is in pass blocking. And so the thing that I can't understand is y'all letting people gaslight y'all to say, "Oh yeah, man, we getting back a dog, man. We getting back somebody that got some culture. I mean, we changing the culture of the offensive line room. That's cool. How you gonna keep CJ protected? If you ain't like the way Kenyon Green kept him protected, then how in the hell are you gonna like the way that Ed Ingram is gonna protect him? Hell, Ed Ingram had an issue keeping Sam Darnold upright. So if he got a problem with keeping Sam Darnold upright, what do you think he's about to do for the franchise quarterback? That's what I don't get. I don't understand that. And like I said, some of y'all think, "Oh man, Sarge always got a case for Kenyon Green, man. He Kenyon Green uncle." No. I've said on numerous occasions, on this platform, on other platforms, to Kenyon Green, on the record and off the record, him and I have had some very good conversations. And Kenyon Green is somebody that he's a young man that I like because he's a young man that will take accountability. He don't run from it. That ain't how he was raised. He'll tell you, "Hey man, I was playing bad." All the criticism, he's seen it. He heard it. He know it. And he knew that for the most part, they were right. He was not playing good football last season. He understood that. He said that on numerous occasions. And then the Houston Texans went and got rid of him and went and brought back his clone. Kenyon Green got pulled from the lineup, from the starting lineup. Kenyon Green got pulled and taken out of the rotation because of what? Ineffective play. And the majority of the Houston Texans fans cheered for that. "Hey man, we needed him out of the lineup. We don't need him in it no more. He gone." Cool. Ed Ingram got pulled after week 10 for ineffective play. He was not injured, he was not hurt. They put him on the bench because he was ineffective. Now, I'm not going to go in on Ed Ingram because I never met Ed Ingram a day in my life. Ed Ingram could be in my hallway right now. And if I go out there, I see him, be like, hey, man, how you doing? What's your name? You like you play some ball. I don't know Ed Ingram. So I'm not here to criticize Ed Ingram, the person, because I don't know Ed Ingram, the person. I know there are some things in his background that's a little bit sketchy. And especially for some of you all talking about, they're trying to change the culture. Well, he got some things in his background that's a little bit shaky, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to talk about his personal life. I just want to talk about football. And don't get me wrong, I know he was on that national championship team with Derek Stingley and Austin Deculus. That same one that had who's that? Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase was on that team. Joe Burrow was on that team. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, was on that team. Like, that's that national championship team. They had some dogs on that LSU team. I know that. I know that. But if you're going to use that, and say, hey, man, in college, he was on the national championship team. Well, I can say in college, Kenyon Green was a consensus 2-time All-American. Consensus. So like I said, I ain't here to talk about his personal life. I ain't here to talk about what he did in college. I'm here to talk about what he did in the NFL. I'm not going to go to PFF rankings. I look at those rankings, but then sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm good. Y'all got it. But I seen a stat today that said Kenyon Green had the third highest rate, the third highest rate of losing one-on-one battles, right? Had the third highest rank in the NFL last year for losing one-on-one battles, giving up one-on-one pressure, right? Kenyon Green was number 3. You know who was number 1? Ed Ingram. You know who was number 4? Laken Tomlinson. Let me make sure I got his name right because I do not want to butcher his name. It's Laken, right? Where's my paper? It's Laken Tomlinson. Tomlinson, number 4. Ingram, number 1. And you want to get rid of Kenyon Green? Somebody tried to make the point talking about, well, it's not really that hard to understand, Sarge. We got rid of the worst offensive lineman. And even if we got the second one, and that's not that's not true, we still got somebody better than the worst. Know what I said? Cool. I'm gonna go outside and count grass. Yeah. I wonder how much grass is like in front of the place where I live. And I wonder where I need to start. Like, can I get an easier count if I go left to right, or is it easier to go right to left? But I'd rather go outside and count grass than to have that conversation with you. I'd rather play an old school game of putting glue in my hand and waiting for it to dry and then peeling it off. I'd rather teach my wife how to play pencil break than to go back and forth with a person talking about, well, Kenyon Green was the worst, and we got somebody in the top 5 of worst. So if Kenyon Green is the worst, we got better than the worst. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. I get it. Ed Ingram is not, and I'm hoping, like, I don't know what Nick Caserio is going to do with him. I don't know if they traded for him to be, to put some bodies, to have some depth on that offensive line. I don't know what he's going to do. There's no possible way that you got rid of Kenyon Green and think that you upgraded by getting Ed Ingram. When we have the press conference, or the first thing that we first time we get a chance to speak with him, first time I'm in the media scrum or in a press conference with him, if somebody else don't ask the question, I'm gonna ask the question. Hey man, can you just talk about, what went wrong in Minnesota? Um, going back and looking at last season, they pulled you from the starting lineup after week 10. What was going on there? You know, what happened? Something to that effect. I'll definitely have it better worded by the time I get there. But I just don't understand. You're gonna get rid of Kenyon Green and bring in Ed Ingram. You got a lot of people online championing that. Champion getting Ed Ingram. And you got some people out there showing some clips, showing, hey, this is the Ed Ingram. This is the Ed Ingram that we're gonna get. Well, you know how we do it right here on Sports Talk with Big Sarge, right? And I led this show by saying, hey man, you got to make sure that you do your own research, right? Because there's a lot of people who went out and found plays, right? Found some plays and said, look at him, man. Look at what he's doing. Then I said, cool. Let me go find some plays. I think I could find some plays. Let me see. I think I may be able to find some plays as well. Let me see. What am I looking for? Let me do it this way. I'm looking for all that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I mean, let me see. That's not it. Hold on, y'all. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna find it. I think. Let me see. Is this the play? I thought I had it queued up, but I guess I didn't. Don't worry, I got y'all. Y'all know I got y'all. You know I got you. Cause if it's one thing Sarge gonna do is research. Is this the play? That's not the play. Let me see. Let me see. Y'all give me a second. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Now I see what's going on. Okay. No. No. Nope. Okay. Now y'all give me a second now. I'm gonna find this play. I just had this play. Y'all, and can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all talk amongst yourself? Can y'all talk amongst yourself for just a second? That's not it. Where is this play? Sarge, find the play, my guy. If I can't find it now, because I was gonna record it. This may be the play. I think this is the play. What am I looking for? No, this is actually in the first quarter, but I just found another play that I might be able to use. Y'all give me a second. I'm not gonna use that play. Don't worry. I let me see. Here we go. All right. Quarter one. All right. Quarter one. This ain't giving me what I need, y'all. And I apologize because I had it. I had it. I got it written down right here. I had it. Let me see. I gotta at least find if I can find the pass play. If I can find the pass play, then I know that I'll find the run play later. But this is on a sustained drive. So let me see how much time is left here. Okay. All right, y'all. I think I might. All right. Now we cooking with gas. Come on. Come on. That's why we do this show live, though. This show is live and in color. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right, y'all. Give me a second. I want to show y'all something. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Just for a second. Just for a second. Just bear with me. I think I might have it. Okay. Here we go. Found it. Got it. All right. Let me share the screen with y'all. Sorry, need super unleaded. Right. So here we go. I'm finna find it. All right, y'all. Y'all know how I do it. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna pull this up, and I'm only doing this. And it's just gonna show one play. When we do the show tomorrow, and when we have the Texans happy hour on tomorrow, I may have a couple of more plays from a couple of more games. But this is so. Let me tell you what you're about to see. So this is the last game in which Ed Ingram played in week 10. It was the Minnesota Vikings versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if I'm not mistaken, Minnesota won that game 12-7. So, all right, here we go. Right here, right here. This is Ed Ingram. Now, everybody knows Kenyon Green was normally right here, right? Kenyon Green was normally right here at the left guard position, right? Ed Ingram plays the right guard position. And the play I'm about to show you is something that you would have seen happen to Kenyon Green at the left guard position. But watch what happens to Ed Ingram, because there's a lot of people out here showing you all these plays on how Ed Ingram is doing this and doing that and going up against how he played against the Eagles. And listen, let me tell you all something. Because they're only showing you those plays to paint a narrative, right? Because Kenyon Green also has some good plays. He had some good plays too, but they don't show that. They'll only show it's the equivalent to what Stephen A. Smith did when he was talking about Bronny James. He took one game that he had a super bad game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and as he criticized them, those highlights ran in the back. He ain't show none where he was doing good. He didn't even show none where he's like, here's the potential that he has by playing in the G League. No, because that doesn't push that's not the narrative that he's trying to push. The narrative he's trying to push is this dude is bad. So the narrative that's out there now, after the Houston Texans have traded for Ed Ingram, is, hey man, look at this guy. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Okay, well, I got access. I have access to be able to watch film myself. Not all 22, not from YouTube. I have access to watch film myself. And so remember, right here, this right guard position, that's Ed Ingram. What's happening right here? What is happening right here? What is happening? What is happening? Is he not being, you know what? Maybe y'all need a better angle. Hey, y'all, this is Ed Ingram right here. Watch after the ball is snapped. Look at where Sam Darnold is. Watch what happens. The right tackle and the right guard is getting whipped. Look at where he is. We've seen Kenyon Green in that position as well. So this isn't me trying to take up for Kenyon Green. I can go to some plays from last season and show you Kenyon Green getting done the exact same way. This guy is a really good run blocker. He struggles in pass blocking. Kenyon Green is a very good run blocker. He struggles in pass blocking. But look, okay, You see, right? Hold on. Watch. From the snap of the ball, look. Look at the pressure. Look at the pressure. Look who's being drove back into Sam Darnold. Okay, you want to see it a different way? Watch it from this way. Here he is right here. No, I'm sorry. Here he is right here. I say right here now. Here he is right here. Look. You want to see it from TV angle? Look. I just want y'all to see that it happens. It happens. You got to call a spade sometimes. You got to call a spade a spade. Really? Where? Where? He was benched after week 10. Not he didn't get taken out of the game because he was injured. He got taken out of the game for All right. I got it. Y'all hold on for a second. Give me a second. This article is from Sports Illustrated, written by Will Raggett. Right? You know what? I think I may be able to do this. Y'all give me a second. Hold on. I got one of them fancy iPhones. Y'all give me a second. I got me one of them fancy, one of them fancy Nancy iPhones. Yeah, yeah. I listen, I'm good. I am good. Let's read this thing in real time together. I've already read it, but let's read it together. Why the Vikings benched Ingram for Reisner and how it went against the Titans. Reisner seems likely to retain the right guard job moving forward, but he was only okay on Sunday. This story is written by Will Raggett. I want to make sure that he gets the credit. The Vikings made the decision to bench inconsistent third-year starter Ed Ingram. The Vikings made the decision to bench inconsistent third-year starter Ed Ingram. Hold on. They brought in Dalton Reisner. Look at what head coach Kevin O'Connell said, head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. I wanted to take a look with Dalton being healthy now, seeing if we could get a little bit more of a veteran present there. Consistent. See that? Consistency is the reason O'Connell cited for making the move on Sunday. And that feels like the reason why Reisner will likely keep the job the rest of the season. He's a better pass protector than Ingram, largely because he's less successful. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. To disastrous reps where he whiffs on a block entirely or steps on a teammate's foot. Those plays can ruin drives. Ingram is a better run blocker, and that's a real concern for the Vikings after Aaron Jones and Cam Akers combined for just 64 yards on 25 carries against the Titans. But he needs to keep Darnold upright, would seem to outweigh the benefit of a better run blocking at one of the 5 spots on the offensive line. Consistency is the reason O'Connell cited for making the move on Sunday. Consistency. He's a better pass protector than he's a better pass protector than Ingram, largely because he's not success. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I did that on purpose. You see that though? He's a better pass protector than Ingram. Titus Howard is a better pass protector than Kenyon Green. He's not a better run blocker. Ed Ingram is a run blocker. Now, if you're bringing him in here to be a road grader, right? If you're bringing him in here to be a road grader and to open up holes for Joe Mixon, I get it. I feel like it was something that Kenyon Green could have done, but I'm not a general manager. I don't even play one on TV. So I'm cool with that. But the one thing that I don't understand is how y'all are bigging up this guy who is nothing but Kenyon Green 2.0. Now, just like what I said with Kenyon Green going to the Philadelphia Eagles, you could potentially look up, you could possibly look up in 3 years and Kenyon Green be one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He may just needed a change of scenery. For Ed Ingram, that could be the exact same thing. He could get with Cole Popovich. He could get with offensive coordinator Nick Caserio. He can come to a different locker room with a different environment, a different mindset. And don't get me wrong, the Vikings don't have listen, I know this personally, right? I know this personally that the Vikings do not have a bad locker room. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. I know that for a fact. I'm not giving you an opinion. I'm giving you a fact. I know people inside of the Minnesota Vikings locker room. And the Minnesota Vikings have a very good locker room. But maybe Ed Ingram just needs a change of scenery. And maybe Ed Ingram can just come here and he could change everything around. I'm looking at Ed Ingram the exact same way I look at Nick Caserio. Hey man, I know what you've done with your past teams, but coming here may do something totally different for you. I know Nick Caserio, who you've been around. I ain't never seen you call an offensive play. That don't mean you can't call offensive plays. I just ain't never seen you call one. Ed Ingram, I know what you did when you played for Minnesota, but all that might change when you put on that Texans uniform. All that might change when they start talking about the swarm mentality and the mentality that you have to have in that locker room. All that may change. So I don't want this to be, and y'all make sure when y'all clip up the other things I said, make sure you clip this up as well, because it goes in my archives. And if you start lying on me, then I'll just come back and clip it up myself and put it out and tag you in it. I don't know what Ed Ingram is going to be. I don't know what happened in Minnesota. I'm going to ask, and he could either answer me or he doesn't have to answer me. But I'm going to ask the question, or somebody's going to ask the question. I don't know. But maybe this change of scenery will help him. And maybe he may be the missing piece that the Houston Texans need. He's still young. Him and Kenyon Green been in the league around the same time. And maybe he needs to be under a different offensive coordinator. Maybe he needs to be under a different offensive line coach. Maybe he needs to be around some of the players inside of that offensive line room. Maybe he needs to be around Blake Fisher. Maybe he needs to be around whoever Nick is going to draft. But all I'm trying to tell you is right now, don't try to say that Kenyon Green was the worst and Ed Ingram is an upgrade, because right now their careers are exactly the same. Their careers are exactly the same. So they're the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. And we could be 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road talking about, hey, Saul, you remember that time, man, you was talking about Kenyon Green and Ed Ingram, man? Both of them dudes made the Pro Bowl. Both of them dudes balling out. Both of them dudes got fresh starts and became who they became. But as of right now, today, what is the day? March 13th? Come on now. Come on. You can't sell me that Ed Ingram is better than Kenyon Green. Not right now. They're the same person. They are identical twins. And that's why I say Caserio, Caserio better have a major move stashed away for draft day. He better go in here and make sure that he can find him some good offensive linemen in this draft. Because with one of the worst offensive line units last season, and then you get rid of 3 starters, you get rid of Kenyon Green, you get rid of Larry Thompson, you get rid of Shaq Mason, you got another direction that you want to go. I'm all for that. I'm cool. Hey, look, sometimes, I put it like this. Sometimes you got people that's been married for 20 years. And then they say, I don't want to be married no more. Then they don't want to be married no more. And then they go out and they find somebody else and they live happily ever after. Sometimes people only need 1 marriage. Sometimes people need 3. I don't know. Whatever it takes to make you happy. So, with that being said, Nick Caserio hasn't really hit, he ain't really done nothing a lot in the past. Maybe he can hit this time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he can. Hey, look. Some of y'all, listen. If you can't relate to what I'm about to say, just raise your hands in the comment or just say 100 or Sarge. You're going to have to explain it to me. Hey, sometimes you can hop Lil Joe. Sometimes you can hit deuce deuce. Sometimes you can hit Michael Jordan. Sometimes 6 and 8 are running mates. Sometimes I caught a fever. 6 and 8 running mates. Nina Ross is the boss. Here we go. What stay open 24? Well, what stay open 24 hours a day? 7-Eleven. Y'all know what I mean. Sometimes you got to T Lee in order to get Lil Joe. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you got to T Lee and then go 6 and 8 or running mates. Then sometimes, God damn it, Allen Iverson. God damn it, Snake Eyes. Ooh, I didn't want to see 1-2. I did not want to see you 1-2. Okay. And this is only because I love y'all. Some of you all have never played. They never shot dice. And I'm not talking about in the casino. I'm talking about in your partner house in the kitchen. Or your cousin house in the garage. Or your uncle house on the table with a blanket laid out. Some of y'all ain't never done that before. Some of y'all ain't never skipped class and went to the back of the girls' gym and some of y'all ain't never done that before. Some of y'all ain't never skipped school and went to the back, went to the wood shop, went to the back of the wood shop, and as long as you broke off your wood shop teacher some of the proceeds, you shoot dice back there all day. He leave the back door open just in case the principal or security guard come through the front. You can around the back. I'm out. So when I go, you could T Lee Lil Joe. I mean, when you roll the dice, you've hit 4. It's very hard to roll a 4. It's very hard to, after you roll a 4, it's very hard to try to hit that point, right? 6 and 8 running mates. So you either got a 6 or you got an 8 as your point. Nina Ross is the boss. You had 9. Store to stay open 24/7. 7-Eleven. 7 on the first row, 11 on the first row. You win. right off the rip. See what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens. Happened for Nick Caserio. It's happened for Nick Caserio the last 2 drafts. Him and D'Amico. Oh, they got their they listen. Dave T. Lee. Here we go. Deuce deuce. C.J. Stroud. Nina Ross. Because it's hard to. If your point is 9, it's hard to hit a 9 too. I'm just letting you know. The most common to hit is 6 and 8. That's why everybody always say 6 and 8 running mates. Let you go. Still tipping on what? 4-4. 6-2. Come on with it. Come on, Kobe. Because Kobe wore 8 and Kobe wore 24. So you could look, let me tell y'all something. Nick Caserio and D'Amico hit their point on CJ Stroud. They hit their point on Will Anderson Jr. They hit their point on Kamari Lassiter. They hit their point on Kalen Bullock. We're going to wait to see if they hit their point on Blake Fisher. When you got a healthy Tank Dell, hit your point. And so now they got the dice in their hands again, right? Going into this year's draft, going into the 2025 NFL draft. And their point is 4. They need to roll 4. Now, the thing is, their point is 4 for like 4 rounds or 3 or 4 rounds. So that means they consistently got to hit 4. Because that offense has a lot of needs. Now, if they trade, and if Nick trades some of the picks up, if Nick can trade some of the picks up and get Matthew Golden, that's 7-11. Y'all don't remember when Ice Cube on Today Was a Good Day when he said hit him with the 7-11, 7-11, 7 even backdoor Little Joe. He's talking about shooting dice, right? So if they move up in the draft and hit on Matthew Golden, right off the rip, and then you try to hit them. I bet y'all didn't think that y'all were going to get a lesson in rolling dice on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. But guess what? That's what I love about this show, because it's my show. And I love y'all, and I love talking to y'all. And the format of talking to y'all is talking to y'all. You know what? Listen, let me tell you what the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show has always been based off of, right? Sports Talk with Big Sarge has always been based off of one thing: educated, ratchet, barbershop sports talk. Because we're going to talk like we're in a barbershop, but I'm going to educate you, and you're going to get some knowledge. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to be ratchet. We're going to be ghetto. We're going to be professional. We're going to be educated. We're going to code switch sometimes. Sometimes I won't be Big Sarge. Sometimes I'll be Brian Bearfield. Hey, listen. At the last press conference, when I got an opportunity to speak with Texans offense coordinator Nick Caserio, the one thing that I asked him was, when you look at this wide receiver group, when you look at what you have left in this wide receiver room, how are you going to be able to help guys like Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie be able to take it to the next level, take that next step? What in your offense is going to help those two guys? God gave me this talent for a reason. Hold up. Hey, man, can we get this on the Tay, please tell me that we can put this on a t-shirt, man. Listen, if you follow me at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end on Twitter, please send this to me. Oh, yeah, I got to write it down, but I'll be forgetting stuff. Please, Tay, send this to me, man. Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Hood, helpful. Hey, man, I'm going to give you some residuals on this. You get some residuals and wholesome. All right, y'all. I ain't going to even lie to you. I do have it. Look, I have it down that I was going to talk about Cooper Kupp. Y'all see that? I was going to talk about Cooper Kupp. But we start talking about Ed Ingram. So, I mean, guess what? I'm back, bro. I'm back. I was on the show yesterday before I went to the Rockets game. I'm back today. On tomorrow, if I can, I'm going to try to get Kelly Eco, for a regional NBA reporter from The Athletic, on here so we can talk about the Rockets as they prepare to take on the Dallas Mavericks. But the Rockets are currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they're starting to look like themselves again, even without Amen Thompson. But I've heard that he may be back sooner than expected. Maybe by the time they get ready to go on the road next week, because I don't know if he'll be back the rest of this homestand, because the Rockets play 3 games in 4 days. They play Friday against Dallas. They play Saturday against Chicago. They're off on Sunday. And on Monday, they play Philadelphia. So they play 3 games in 4 days. But hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. I know I do the Texans happy hour, but I might, some days you may hop on here and it's just the Houston happy hour, Houston sports happy hour. You never know. But we're gonna talk about Cooper Cup tomorrow, because listen, y'all. I'm kind of starting to. I went back and I did some research, right? I went back and I looked at Cooper Cup, and I looked at Cooper Cup when he was healthy, and I'm saying to myself, okay, all right. Then I looked at Cooper Cup when he came back from injury, and then I looked at Cooper Cup playing with Pika Nakul. I looked at Cooper Cup, who went from a Triple Crown winner, and that's the person who has the most receptions, the most yards. Let me make sure I got that right. Most receptions, most yards, and most touchdowns in a single season. And he was a Super Bowl 56 MVP. And I watched him go from a number 1 wide receiver to a number 2 wide receiver, playing the number 2 and giving up the number 1 role to Pika Nakua. And he never complained. And I was like, well, wait a minute now, that might work. But that's something that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Y'all know I'm not going nowhere. And I could be the only one on this show by myself, and that's cool. But I'm gonna read these comments. Yeah, John Week's gone. What up? What up? What up? Marcus, what up, though? What's going on? What's up? What was a great trade? Trading Kenyon Green for Gardner Johnson. I like Gardner Johnson. I'll tell y'all that right now. What up? Hello. Yes. Right. So we get a different Kenyon Green. Sounds like a good trade. Hey man, I mean, it's depends. You never know what him and Thomason can give you. Last year at this time, oh my God, we have Akuda, CJ Henderson, Eric Murray, and Jimmy Ward as our secondary. Now it's Lassiter Bullock and CJ in those spots. Yep. Nick's gonna get a tackle that can play guard, and a good guard in the draft. Hey, Steven Johnson, I can agree with that. I can see that happening. If he can hit his point. Now we say we don't have the O-line guys. Guess what? It will look like this time. That Brandon, you think so? You don't think that they're gonna get it right? Marcus said we just got it for depth. Uh, Ingram's not a starter. He is strictly with us for competition for whatever rookie guards we draft. You don't think that Kenyon Green could have? Hey, listen, I'm not saying I respect your opinion. I'm cool. I see it a different way. But no, that this is a good point. Doesn't know how. I think Kenyon got the best out of the trade. Best place to learn and flow better with his game. Yeah. Got some things they're gonna do with Kenyon Green up there too. Paul Stewart, Caserio doesn't know actual offensive line talent. Look at his tenure with the Patriots. Huh. All right. Joshua Stan, thank you for actually making sense about Ed Ingram. I get being positive and hopeful, but you can't just look at highlights and think that he is upgraded in any way. Hot take drafting an offensive tackle. Wait for the trade deadline next season. Then, if someone needs a tackle last minute, like the Vikings did, oh, Brandon. Wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. Let me read this again. Hot take: draft an offensive tackle. Wait for the trade deadline next season. Then, if someone needs a tackle, which everybody always need a tackle, last minute, like the Vikings did, trade Titus away. Hey, who did they trade? They got Cam Robinson, right? The Vikings lost their offensive tackle, and then they traded with Jacksonville to get Cam Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. Brandon, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Ingram and Green on the same page, just hoping a new team will activate something. I believe that too. Texans tangent. Yes, yes, he did get bull rush. I take you talking about Gardner Johnson, Texans loading in the next season because he can't tackle. I talked about that. You know what? I got a clip that I'm going to put out that I did on Locked on Texans, talking about the safeties in Gardner Johnson and Kalen Bullock. And what I got that loaded up on my phone. I'm going to put that out tonight. So if you follow me on Twitter, y'all notice I don't call it X. I just can't. It's always been that. What up? What up? What up? Someone getting whooped. Yeah. 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 That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Hold on. Maybe Caserio was doing the Vikings a favor with the swap. Who knows what happens between the relationships with all these GMs? Brandon, that's a great point. This is this is a great point. And you could be 148% correct. Maybe Caserio was doing the Vikings a favor. Maybe so. Who knows what happens between the relationships of some of these GMs? Hey, look, let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't believe this type of stuff happen, what I'm gonna need you to do is I'm gonna really, really, really need you to research. Do the research. I'm talking about the deep dive research on the Luka Doncic Anthony Davis trade. And what I mean by doing your deep dive research, that means you're gonna have to go all the way back and find the relationship between the person that works for the Mavericks and the person that works for the Lakers. There is a reason why those two teams made that trade. There is a reason why they didn't open it up. Neither team opened up trade talks for Luka Doncic. Neither team opened up trade talks for Anthony Davis. They talked amongst themselves. And when you deep dive it, I'm telling you right now, it's a deep dive. But when you deep dive, you're gonna go all the way down, and at the bottom, you're gonna see the connection between the two people who made the trade, the person from the Mavericks and the person from the Lakers, and then you're gonna see how they connect, and then you're gonna see how Kyrie and Anthony Davis fits into that thing. And then you're going to see the role LeBron played. And then you're going to see how they bought Luka into it. And then you're going to see about the owners and what they want to do as far as casino and gambling in the state of Texas. And then you're going to see how the Lakers are going to try to help them with that. So this is 148% correct. Who knows what happens between the relationships of some of these GMs? You're talking about when you're talking about that play when he got beat. That's on the Vikings O-line coach. That's the same thing that we were saying all last year about the Texans. Hey, that's on Chris Strausser. That's on Chris Strausser. But I do agree. Everyone thinks it's crazy that people making it seem like Ingram a 10-time Pro Bowler. Facts. All right. Well, I take that back. I had to do my research. He's terrible. Oh man. I see y'all putting my that 100. Y'all know what I'm talking about when exactly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. At school, for sure. Hey, look, hey, when you come from a single parent home with 3 brothers, your mama ain't always got the money to give you to get stuff. You got to go get it how you live. Some of y'all don't know what that means. Some of y'all don't know what getting it how you live or getting it out the mud. Y'all don't know how to do that. Yep, I'm from the suburbs. Never heard of dice. We play cards and bones, but not dice. What? Tonk? Texas Tangent, y'all was playing Tonk? Because we played Tonk every morning. You know the one game that I never learned how to play? I never learned how to play poker. when I was in Afghanistan, right? When I was stationed in Afghanistan, that's all they would do. They would play poker. It'd be poker and dominoes, right? And I'd play dominoes, but I ain't playing no dominoes for money because once you start getting money involved in things, it people's whole mindset gets crazy. Like when you start gambling on those type of things, like I just want to play dominoes and talk trash. Hey man, let's just play some dominoes, talk trash. I'm not playing for money. I don't want to play for money. I'm good. I don't want to play dominoes for money. I just want to play dominoes. But they would play poker 3, 4, 5 hours. We have mission the next day, and I'll be like, "What are y'all dudes still doing up, bro? Y'all got to go outside of the wire tomorrow. What are you still doing up playing poker? And how much money you done lost? You waiting on finance to come because you owe this dude out. You owe him $1,000. First of all, finance ain't finna give you $1,000 right off the rip, and you got a family. How you finna pay this man back? You know what? I don't even want to know. Whatever y'all do in y'all spare time with it, however you got to get it from you. Hey, hey, in that backroom restroom at school in the motor pool, barracks, platoon. So I know. Whoa, wait, hold on. Y'all was gambling and hold on. In the motor pool, I know. Hey, Tay, hold on, Tay. Hey, y'all, right now, look, I'm done talking sports. I'm done talking sports. It's late. We about to get into Big Sarge After Dark for a couple of minutes. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I appreciate it. Follow me on social media. Y'all know where to find me. Tay, y'all hold on in the because I've heard some. Look, bro, I heard in the motor pool. In the motor pool, it go down. Hey, when I was in Germany, when I was stationed in Germany, my boy hit me up and say, "Hey man, tell your wife you got to go to the motor pool." For what? Bro, it's 11:30. The hell I go to the motor pool for? No, I don't want to go to the motor pool. Yeah, you need to get to the motor pool because it was a piece of valuable equipment that was lost, and everybody needs to be at the motor pool. So make sure you tell your wife you got to go to the motor pool. What? Yeah, you ain't got to get in full. You don't got to put uniform on. You can come in PTs if you want. Matter of fact, you can come in civilian clothes. You ain't got to put that on, but you need to get to the motor pool right now. All right, man. All right. Because he outranked me. All right, I gotta get to the motor pool. Hey, I don't know what the hell going on right now, but I gotta go down to the motor pool. I'll call you as soon as I get to the motor pool. I ain't going nowhere else but to the motor pool. I don't want to go because I know we got to get up for PT in the morning. That's at 5 a.m. So put clothes on. I'm driving to the motor pool. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I don't want to go to the motor pool. I'm driving. Get to the motor pool. Hit the door. I done hit that. Boom, 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 like I'm the law. Open this mother. Boom, boom, boom. Partner come. Open up the door. Hey, get in here. Get in here. I be like, bro, what are we doing here, bro? What? Like, for real. What is going on, man? You calling me down to the motor pool? It's 11:30. Said, come with me. Boy, went to the back of the motor pool and one of the back little spots in the back of the motor pool. I said, oh, I ain't go to the ATM. You good, bro? I got enough euro for the both of us. All right. She mixed. Where's she from? Hey, how y'all get them on base? Who brought? I'm asking too many questions, right? Hey, hold on. I gotta step outside, call my wife right quick, bro, because I feel like I'm gonna be at the motor pool for a while. I heard it go down. Now, I ain't never played in the platoon sergeant office, but bro, oh my god, I got so many stories from what I've been told about in the motor pool. Hey man, hey, before y'all drive y'all vehicle, y'all gotta clean the seat. Huh? Hey, I gotta clean the seat for y'all. If I was you, I'd sanitize the seat. Let's sit down here in the motor pool. What are we talking about? All right. So I was going to teach me how to play some dice and wood shop. Yep. Ah. Ah. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. At this point, defense about to score the offense. Hey man, hey, I'm coming back. I'm telling you, this 2 days in a row, I'm back. I'm telling you, man. Queena sent me a message on Instagram and said, "Hey, when you gonna come back and talk to us?" And I said that means a lot to me. I said this yesterday. I'm gonna say it again. I said that means a lot to me. I'm coming back. And look at what time it is. It's 9:56. I've been on here for an hour already. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that no matter what, there's going to be a sports talk with Big Sarge show, a Buzzed and Petty show. I got a meeting in the morning about potentially a studio and being able to bring you all some different type of content. But I'm back. Deverick, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I ain't gonna leave y'all like I did last time. I just was going through some things. Something. And listen, I went to that 40-day fast. And man, that thing cleared my mind and it helped me out a lot. All right, hold on. What you say? For sure, for sure. Minnesota has 24 pick. Oh, do they? Ooh, many problems were solved in the motor. So oh, hold on. 91 Bravo through. Hold on. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So basically, look what I traded to help the state of Texas sports betting. So that small minutia of that, but it had a lot to do with the relationship of the two people who made the trade. So what's going on? Hey, look, you you came down. HD, you got to go back and rewatch the show if you want to know about what I was talking about. With Caserio better have a major move stashed away for draft day. I don't have any fun on social media. Just waiting on you to get that buzz and pick. Hey, it's coming. Look, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna be about it. What was your first meal after the fast? Where do we go? Dang, what's that place? Mia's Table? I think it was Mia's Table. And I think my first meal, I think I had some chicken tenders. I think that might have been it. Some chicken tenders. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did have some chicken tenders. Speaking of tenders, boy, in that motor pool though. Oh my God. I'm saying to myself, hey, well, not saying to myself, but I said to my partner, because I'm not gonna even lie. So I don't do a lot of talking when I get excited. But if you surprise me with something, I got questions. Like, hey, you think she got daddy issues? Like, what's she doing this for? I bet you her daddy was over here and her daddy and her mama hooked up, and then he left her here, and then he went back to the States, and then she had to grow up here because he can't bring her back to the States because he had a wife and kids that he had in the States. Hold on. Did I tell you about that story? It's the last one I'm gonna go. So now stationed in Germany, right? Stationed in Germany. Hold on. The crazy part about it was he was a 91 Bravo 2 in the motor pool. So it was one of the sergeants, right? One of the sergeants. He was a month out from getting ready to PCS and go from being old CONUS back to CONUS. So old CONUS means you're overseas. CONUS means you're stateside. So he was getting ready to leave Germany and come back stateside. He's a month away from leaving. So I want to say Monday morning, right? Monday morning. So I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna talk a little military talk, but I'm gonna put it in civilian terms too. People who've been in the military know what I'm about, know what these things mean, but I'm gonna make sure that I break it down to you so you can understand. So every day, right? Every day the commander and the sergeant major, the commander and the first sergeant, they get this. The people at the top, they get this report, right? It's called a blotter, right? And on that blotter says everything that happened either overnight, for the most part, overnight, but on Mondays, it's what happened on the weekends. Now, if it's bad enough, then they got to be taken care of no matter when. Hey, look, something happened. Don't care. No, don't matter where you are. You gotta get sergeant, whoever's on duty, whoever on night duty, whoever on night shift. You gotta take care of that, but you gotta get in contact with who you need to get in contact with. So, you got a thing called a blotter, right? So they get this report every morning, and that everybody that's done something stupid, done something wrong, whatever the case may be, you get the blotter. So the blotter is basically a report, right? So Monday the blotter comes out, right? Monday the blotter comes out. You look at the blotter, right? So then they look at the blotter, and then next thing you know, I can't even remember this sergeant name. Dang, short little black dude. I can't think of his name. We'll just say Sergeant Johnson, right? We're just for purposes of telling this story. Sergeant Johnson name come up on the blotter, right? So then by the time I get to the office, they like, hey bro, you heard about Sergeant Johnson? You heard what happened with Sergeant Johnson? What happened with Sergeant Johnson? Hey, you didn't hear what happened with Sergeant Johnson? No, what happened with Sergeant Johnson? Like he down in the first sergeant office right now. He finna be in sergeant major office soon. And after that, he got to see the commander, and that ain't gonna be good. And I'm not talking about the company commander, I'm talking about base commander. So anyway, Sergeant Johnson was out of the nightclub. He was out of the nightclub with it was him, his girlfriend, his girlfriend's sister, another girl, and another dude, right? So they're out. This young lady is European, right? She's German, right? They're out of this club, right? So after the club is over now, mind you, now this girl and the girlfriend is pregnant. The girlfriend is pregnant. The girlfriend, listen, I need y'all to hear this, right? The girlfriend is pregnant. Mark that. So it's Sergeant Johnson, the pregnant girlfriend, her sister, another young lady, and a dude. So the club is over. They're leaving the club. They're walking back to the car, right? One of the dudes that was there, that was in the club, German dude, came out and kind of got into it with Sergeant Johnson, and then looked at his pregnant girlfriend and say, "Oh, I see you love N words. That's what's wrong with y'all now. Y'all over here crossbreeding and falling in love with these N words when you got pure European men right here, purebred white men right here." She responded by saying, "Leave us alone. Go away." At this time now, Sergeant Johnson has heard this, right? Sergeant Johnson has heard this because I'm getting the story. I got the story later on. Sergeant Johnson has heard this, right? So they say Sergeant Johnson has said, the next word that comes out of his mouth, I'm gonna knock him out, right? So she says what she has to say. The dude goes to say what he has to say before he can get the words out good. Bow! Knocked him out cold. Knocked him out cold. That started to, this, that, another. And because he got the pregnant girlfriend, one of the people that was with the dude who got knocked out was trying to, but it was other people, it was other military people around. So it didn't turn into a big ruckus, but it turned into a small, whatever the case may be, right? So remember now, pregnant girlfriend, 1 month away from coming back to the States, gets into this brawl, knocks this dude out. The Polizei, which is the German police, the Polizei arrested him, and then his NCOIC had to go and get him, right? Go get him and bring him back to base. So now it's the popped up on the blotter, right? It's the popped up on the blotter. He in trouble, right? He's in trouble. He's out with his pregnant girlfriend. He done knocked somebody out. He done knocked somebody out. He's he's knocked somebody out. He's 1 month away from leaving. Now, one of the real reasons he got himself in trouble was this. It really wasn't because he knocked somebody out. Because I was in the infantry unit. So in the infantry unit, it'd be like, hey, what you do? Well, I kicked his ass hard. Hey, good. What'd he say? He was saying this, that, and other. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, in Europe, some of them dudes get really fly at the mouth because European women, especially in Germany, love black men. They love black men. Hey, y'all remind me to tell y'all the time that my late wife almost knocked out a German lady at the PX. Somebody bookmarked that. I'll tell you about that story later on. So, German women love black men, right? And so, a lot of times when you're out and about, you could be in, you be in Eder Oberstein, you could be in Kaiserslautern, you could be in Munich, you can be in Berlin, wherever. It's gonna be a black club somewhere, and they're gonna love black men, right? So he's out with his pregnant girlfriend, knocked the dude out. That wasn't the problem with him knocking the person out. He ain't getting in trouble for knocking the person out. He got in trouble because it was revealed he had a pregnant girlfriend. But he had a wife and kids back in the States. Okay, let me tell y'all this one more time. He didn't get in trouble for knocking the dude out. Hey, dude called you N-word, but every right. Polizei arrested you, cool. We'll deal with the Polizei. They brought you back here. We can handle it internally here. We may give you some extra duty, because we really don't want you out there fighting. We are guests in this country. We can't have you out there fighting, right? But we got to punish you, but don't worry about it. Cool, because I'd have done the same thing, right? Or some of the first sergeants tell you, hey, look, when I was young and I was stationed in, when I was stationed in Korea, we did this, that, and other, blah, 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 right? He didn't get in trouble for that. He got in trouble because it was revealed that he had a pregnant girlfriend, but he was married with kids back in the States. Now, one thing that the Army will frown on is extramarital affairs. If your rank can't handle it. Now, when they shoot it up, when you start getting them higher ranks, you may be able to get away with it. But when you're a non-commissioned officer, you E5, E6, even E7. Hell, bookmark this. Remind me to tell y'all about the E7 that got in trouble when we was in Afghanistan, messing around with a chick from the Air Force. He was married. Let me tell y'all something. The Army, I can't speak for everybody else. The Army does not like that type of stuff. And depending on who is over you, they've been married for a long time and they really believe in the institution of marriage. Oh, they not finna do all that. They not finna do all of that. You're finna be like, bro, what are you doing? So that's what he got in trouble for. He got in trouble because he had a pregnant girlfriend, but he had a wife. So now, what do you think they did? They had to inform the wife he not coming home no time soon. Well, what happened? Well, he got into a fight. Oh, well, can't y'all just, punish him, take his money, or whatever the case may be? No, because you need to know why he got into a fight. And he got into a fight because he's with his pregnant girlfriend. What do you mean, girlfriend? Shh. I said, boy, how did you fall into that type of temptation? You should have just stayed in the back of the motor pool. You've been tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter, Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you go back. Oh, Corey, you missed it. You already missed it. I already talked about. Corey, I've already talked about Ingram. You got to go back and watch this. You got to go back and see how I said Ed Ingram and Kenyon Green are the same person. You got to go back and watch. You're going to cuss me out. Listen, I know you're going to cuss me out, and I'm cool with that. I get it. I understand. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Because I don't take it personal. And you don't take it personal. This is just good sports talk, good sports banner. I didn't mention you by name. I did not mention you by name. I did not. The one thing that I've always respected about you, bro, is you go back and forth, and you know this ain't nothing but sports, banter, going back and forth, and it ain't never personal. So yeah, go back and watch the show, man. And hey, look, y'all like, subscribe, comment, man. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up because if I get my subscriptions up on YouTube, then y'all finna get some really good stuff. Hey, look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I got Buzz and Petty coming. I got a show called Attention to Orders where we don't talk about sports. We don't talk about other things like what's going on in today's society. I got a show. What I'm going to mix in Attention to Orders and Screaming on the Inside. Well, we're going to talk about some mental health stuff and some of the things that these people, people go through and people are going through right now. Man, I got some good stuff coming down the pipeline, but I can't do it without my supporters and the help from y'all, man. And y'all know me, I'm going to give back. Oh, I got something I'm going to announce on Monday. Texas fans, if y'all think that y'all are really good at doing this mock draft shit, mock draft stuff. If y'all think y'all good at doing this mock draft stuff, I'm gonna see. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like mock drafts. I cannot stand a mock draft. That's why you don't see a lot of mock drafts coming from me. I ain't doing no mock drafts. If you think you good at doing mock drafts, you may be able to make some money. You may be able to make some money from Big Sarge. You may. I'll cash app you too. I'll send it right to your cash app. So we may have a little contest going on as the draft gets closer. But man, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Hey, before I get up out of here, can I ask y'all a question? What works better for y'all? The mornings or the afternoons? Can y'all tell me that before I leave? Time for you to do a Carol Burnett closing. What works best? Mornings, doing a morning show, or doing an afternoon show, a happy hour? Because anytime, if I don't do it in the mornings, anytime I do it like after 3, I'm always call it a happy hour. So even though I started this show at 8 something, 8, I don't know, 8 something. Even though I started the show at 8 something, I still call it a happy hour because I mean, hell, it's a happy hour for somebody, right? Afternoon, night and afternoon, either afternoon, mornings, anytime before 3. All right. Hey, Corey, nobody got mornings 10 to. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, hold on. I'm here for a second now, Corey. Hold on. I'm here for a second. 1 second. Hey, Corey, this is a shot. And I know exactly who you taking a shot at. I picked up on this. I know exactly who you're shooting at. I already know. And it's one of them little sneaky ones too. Hey, y'all remember on Harlem Nights where they were standing out with Arsenio Hall and his brothers out there shooting at Eddie Murphy, and they was going, and the little dude like, and Arsenio Hall like, "I'll kill you quick! I'll kill you quick! You're gonna die! You kill my brother Tommy! You kill my brother!" What you doing with that little ass gun? Put that little ass gun away. Nobody gonna care about that little gun. And then quick rise up, pop, pop, pop. That's you, Corey. You got that little ass gun taking them sneaky shots. Pop, pop. I'll tell you that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. Stop shooting that little. Hey, y'all, Corey out here sneak. Corey, you out here. Oh, wait, hold on. Stop the presses. I gotta say this before I go. Cause now y'all done got me going. I gotta say this before I go. Cause I need this to be on wax. For those of you all who don't know, when somebody say it needs something to be on wax, that means it needs to be on record. And let me say this before I go. This got to be on record before I get up out of here. I I will never, ever, 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 never, ever apologize for the relationship that I have developed with these athletes, with these coaches, with these owners, with these general managers. I ain't gonna never ever apologize for that. Not never, not one time. Because I've developed some great relationships with people. And when I come on here and I talk about, what's going on or whatever the case may be, and I told y'all I stopped debating on social media a long time ago because I argue from a place of privilege, right? I argue from a place of privilege because there's things that I know that a lot of people don't know. And you going back and forth with me and you trying to tell me something that you heard from somebody else that heard something from somebody else. And I was like, well, I was there. So this can't be true. Or like, that's not how it happened. I was there. That's not how this happened. And so I ain't gonna never apologize for the relationships that I have. I'm not gonna do it. And I'm also being in the media is like having a job. You got relationships with people at your job. I got relationships with people in my job. I'm not going to apologize for that. And I'm saying that to say this, right? Laremy Tunsil got traded. And I said some things. And then some people was like, oh, man, you over here carrying the water for Laremy Tunsil. You over here giving him this, that, and other. And I was like, no, I'm not. I even said that on the Locked On Texans podcast. I said Laremy Tunsil could have done himself a favor. He could have done himself a favor by speaking a little bit more to the media and letting the fans know a little bit more about who he is and the things he does. Because I seen it. Let me tell you. Listen, y'all know me. It don't matter to me one way or the other. I can have 1,300 friends and I can have 13 friends. And what I mean by friends, I'm even talking about associates. I ain't talking about true friends. Listen, I'm not a twin. I was born alone. I'm the oldest. I came first. Ain't no twin. So I'm great being by myself. But I'm gonna tell you all this, right? I'm gonna tell you all this before I go. Some of y'all think that we're taking up for Laremy and saying, hey, Laremy was a leader. He may not have been the leader that y'all wanted. And I told y'all that some of y'all got to stop equating salary to leader. Some of these people who make a bunch of money are not leaders. Stop equating. Yesterday, I used the example of Daniel Jones made a hell of a whole lot of money. He's not a leader. He's not. He's on his third team, but he's not a leader. I use Trevor Lawrence for an example. Trevor Lawrence makes a hell of a whole lot of money. He's not a leader. So y'all got to stop equating salary to being a leader. And when a person gets the C and the captain on their chest, right? There's a lot that encompasses that. Like I said, don't get me wrong. Laremy could have done himself a lot. Laremy could have done himself a huge favor by talking to the media more, letting the fans see him take the accountability that he showed when he talked to myself, when he talked to DJ Bieneme from ESPN, when he talked to Jonathan Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, when he talked to Chancellor Johnson, who used to work at KPRC. Hell, even when he used to talk to Aaron Wilson at KPRC. Like there's some people that had a relationship with Laramie, and you'd be like, damn, Laramie, I just wish you would say that on camera, bro. I wish you would say that on the record. So these people will know. So these people will know. I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quickly. There was a player. Now I'm not gonna say who the player is, but there was a player this past season that had a terrible, 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 terrible game. Terrible. Terrible. And that player was so pissed off and so hurt because he felt like he let the team down. And in the locker room, not around any of the media, just around the teammates and the coaches, like, was just sick. Head down, just hurt because he felt like he could have done more to help out the team, right? Right. And he started to get down on himself. And that player said, Sarge, if it hadn't been for Laramie, bro, I don't know if I would have been able to come out of that funk. I said, what you talking about? He said, bro, Laramie walked over to me and told me, hey man, get your head up, bro. We got another game to play. Just you gotta let this one go. He said, we're gonna go back and we're gonna watch the film, and I'm gonna see a lot of mistakes that I made. But I can't go back and fix them right now. I can't go back and fix them for this game. I can only improve and fix them next game. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna work together. We're gonna get this shit right, and we're gonna make it. And we got another game, bro. We gotta get this shit together. We can't sit here. We can't sulk. We can't be mad. He said, I know I made some mistakes. I know I made some mistakes. But the only way we're gonna be able to get over this thing is to get over this thing together. And so you hold me accountable for my mistakes. I'm gonna hold you accountable for your mistakes, but we're gonna work together and get the mistakes corrected. And that player told me, hey man, if it hadn't been for Laramie, I don't even know if I could have been able to get my head back in the game for the next week, because I kept replaying all of my mistakes in my mind and what I could have done. And see, these are the things, right? These are the things that don't get said in the media. These are the things that don't get put on camera. These are the things that are that some of these people who have been talking about Laramie is toxic and Laramie is this and Laramie is that. These are some of the things that the people don't see. These are some of the things that the people don't know. So when I come out and I say, hey, bro, I know what type of leader Laramie is in the locker room. And just because he doesn't say it to you, just because he doesn't say it to the media on camera, that don't mean he don't know. He not being a leader. I made that video the other day, and I told y'all, I said, look, he an offensive lineman. He not the offensive line coach. So it don't matter what he would have told Shaq Mason. No matter what he would, I mean, y'all wanted him to see him be boisterous on the field, this, that, and another. But that ain't his job to motivate Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason should be motivated on his own. And I'm only using Shaq Mason. I'm not picking on Shaq Mason. I'm just using Shaq Mason as an example, right? But that's Strauss's job. That's Cole Popovich's job. But it's Laramie's job to be his teammate and say, hey, we got to get this thing together. Let me give y'all another story, right? Let me tell y'all another story. Minnesota game. Is the Minnesota game when Laramie had all those false starts? Can somebody tell me that? Can somebody tell me that is the Minnesota game, right? Is where Laramie had all them pre-snap penalties, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think that was the Minnesota game. Y'all know after the game, Laramie, I think it was Laramie. I think it was Titus, Shaq Mason. Could have been CJ. I can't remember if it's CJ or not because I may be getting some games confused. Because I know maybe I may be getting that game confused with last year after they played Baltimore in the divisional round. And after that game, they were all sitting there talking to each other. I may be getting it. So CJ may not have been there. But it was Laramie, it was Titus, and it was Shaq Mason. I remember that vividly. Yes. And they were talking. They were in the huddle. They weren't saying you couldn't hear them. You couldn't hear what they were saying, right? You couldn't hear what they were saying. You just see them talking, see them, going this and blah, 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 right? That was after the game, right? They were right there and they was just talking. So then next week, we get into the locker room, right? We get into the locker room. And had to be shucks. I don't remember what day it was. But whatever day it was, Laramie came in, scrums was going on or whatever. Laramie walked in from wherever he walked in and he went to his locker. And I walked over. I said, Laramie, I got a question for you. He said, what's up, Sarge? I said, hey, bro, what y'all was talking about after that game? I said, because it looked like y'all was in deep conversation after that Minnesota game. It was the Minnesota game, right? Is that where he had all the false starts? I think so. Yes, it was. And so I said, hey, what y'all was talking about over there, man? Because it looked like y'all were in like a deep conversation. Like deep conversation, but also like it just wasn't a normal conversation. He's like, no. So I'll tell you what we was talking about, Sarge. He said, I was taking accountability and I was letting them know I let them down. And I was letting them know I'm gonna talk about it when we get into the meeting. I'm gonna let them know, hey, that's on me. I know what Laramie said about blaming the refs and what he said on camera that one time that he talked. I was there, standing right there. You know what also Laramie has said? Hey man, I gotta do what I need to do. I can't be blaming the refs. So I'm telling you all this to say this, right? That there is conversations that I'm privy to. There's interactions that I'm privy to that a lot of people aren't. That a lot of people that you all listen to, they're not privy to these type of conversations. So when I make the statement that Laramie was a leader in the locker room, Laramie did take accountability for his actions. Maybe not all the time, but for the most for the most part that he did. Y'all want to talk about the way that he dressed. I'm cool. Hey, look, man, everybody got their preferences. I get that. But don't tell me that I'm carrying the water for Laramie, or don't tell me that my relationship with him don't make me see what type of player that he is. Because I said it. Hell, I even said, hey man, you got a lot of. I've talked to him. I told him, hey bro, you got a lot of pre-snap penalties. But I also told him that when he had those two false starts against after CJ went out and Davis Mills came in against Tennessee, I said, bro, that's the first false start you've had. That was week 18. He hadn't had a false start since week 10. And before that, he hadn't had a false start, I think, since like week 4. So he had 19 penalties. He'll tell you himself, hey, this is how Laramie talk. That's a lot of penalties. So he's like, yeah, man, I gotta get that shit together. That's how Laramie talk. That vocal tone that I just had is exactly how Laramie talk. Shit, so 19 penalties. He went. Let's not say 19. He just feel like, shit. So I got a lot of false start penalties. I gotta get that shit together. I gotta get that shit together. So yeah, right. I gotta take care of that shit. So I can't keep doing that, man. Shit. And then we'll start talking about the matchup he got the next week, or the matchup he had the week, whatever. Start talking football. Hell, we talk football. Shit, sometimes we talk cologne, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you that's why I don't go back and forth with people, because I have a place of privilege. And I learned that about 3 years ago. I'm saying to myself, I'm cool. I got it. Cool. And then people want to be all Sarge, you blah, blah, blah. You don't care this, that, and other. I'll be like, man, I'm cool, bro. Just tell me who your favorite player is, and I tell them you said hello. Even some of these people in the media, I tell them, hey, bro, they got to talk to you. They want to talk to me. And what I mean, they want to talk to me. I'm not saying that hey, Sarge, let's talk. No, I'm just saying, like, we could have conversation. We could chop it up, right? Sometimes when they got to talk to you, it's because they have to talk to you. Like, they have to. Sometimes with me, it just, hey, let's just chop it up, Sarge. So that's all. Mm. Hey, let me ask you a question, PG. How many Dallas Cowboys games have you watched? You think Tyron Smith is the leader when he's playing with the Cowboys? You think so? Let me ask a question. You Tyron Smith, right? All pro, Pro Bowl. No, he played with the Jets. He didn't have it. You think it? See, I've watched all the Dallas Cowboys games, all of them. I watched everyone Tyron Smith played. And how many times you think that he ran over to pick Dak up off the ground? No, I'm asking. I'm just asking because y'all seem to be stuck on that. And hey, look, whatever it is for you is for you. I'm not trying to sway your opinion, but I'm just saying, like, that's more common than y'all know, or that you want to know. Just a question. When Watson got hit all them years, I mean, all them, that year Watson had what, 60, 70 something. How many sacks did he have? 67 sacks. Go back and look at the offensive line, then tell me who's the running over there to pick him up all the time. I'm not saying that Laramie was right, Laramie was wrong. I'm not saying that. But y'all get stuck on that. And I don't understand that. And you talk about he ain't, you'll say stuff like this, but then you'll never say, yeah, he may not pick CJ up after somebody else gave up a sack or whatever the case may be. But Texans gave up 60, 54, 54 and 13 is what, 67. Texans gave up a total of 67 sacks, right? 65. CJ was, including the regular season and the postseason, CJ was sacked 65 times. Larry Tunsil gave up 2.5 sacks last year. When I was in the Army, a couple of the best soldiers never said a freaking word. They just led by example. But some of y'all get these talking points, right? And I'm gonna get, hold on. I'm gonna get to this other thing. If if I just gave you examples on his leadership qualities inside the locker room, which is the statement that I made online, what are we talking about here? How many Pittsburgh Steelers games did you watch last year? Who was running to pick Russell Wilson up off the ground? When Justin Fields was playing with the Chicago Bears and he was getting tatted, who was running to pick him up? Not saying that you're wrong for saying what you're saying. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. If if that's if that's what leadership is to you, I can't tell you you're wrong. It's just like when we talk about in basketball, greatest of all time. Some people got LeBron, some people got Jordan. It all depends on what your criteria is. So whatever your criteria is for leadership, I can't tell you you're wrong. I won't tell you you're wrong. If that's your criteria for leadership, then that's cool. But that don't mean it has to be my criteria for leadership. And if I'm in the locker room and I know and I hear these other players talking about Laramie and how what he does, I didn't sit here and say, "Hey man, Laramie was the best leader in the locker room." I did not say that. I just said he was a leader in the locker room. I get it. I get like BG. I'm not telling you you're wrong. Whatever your criteria is for leadership, that's your criteria for leadership. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I just we may view it a little bit different. Because when Tyron Smith wasn't running to pick Dak up off the ground, I was like, that didn't bother me not one bit. Hey, are you protecting him though? Because Tyron Smith was an all-pro. Zach Martin, he ain't had to run to pick Dak Prescott up if he got sacked. I ain't tripping on that. Are you protecting him? Somebody's going to get him up off the ground. It doesn't always have to be the captain of the team. But that's just for me and my criteria. If leadership to you looks like what you're saying, I'm all for it. You're not the only one. I've seen other people talk about it as well. I'm just talking about from my place of privilege. There are different ways to lead. Exactly. Hey man, y'all was having a conversation up here, and I need to go back up here and see it. Hold on. After Corey shot that 22. Don't be ashamed to say the name. Yeah, Corey. Say the name. My new name, Dr. Texan. I'm changing my pick to an avatar. It's Prairie View making the big dance. I don't know. Did they win? Well, didn't but Southern was the number one team. Didn't they get upset by Grambling the other day? I gotta go look at the swag tournament. He got that Scott. You talking about Corey? Ping ping. Oh man. Tall buddy on the mountain of cloud. Oh wow. Man, y'all are on one tonight, man. Oh man. Bro, y'all are on one. What is going on? All right. Appreciate that. Uh-huh. Mhm. Mhm. Well, y'all been talking over here, ain't you? Had to go get my cognac. Ah, ah! Oh, I can not too complicated. I can't speak for that. I can't. There's a lot of questions. Not too complicated. Please make sure you subscribe to this show. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel, please. And follow me if you can at Big Star Sports with the Z at the end on Twitter. Why didn't the coaches agree with Laramie's leadership? Hold on 1 second, not too complicated. Hold on 1 second. Because I don't want to lie to you. Not too complicated. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know. I don't have the answer to this question. But one of the reasons why I wrote this question down is because I'm going to try my best to find out the answer. Now, I may not be able to find out the answer till OTAs. So it may take me a minute because we're not going to really get a chance to speak with coaches for a minute unless I can try to get them through the back channel. If I can get this answer through the back channel, not too complicated, I'm going to make sure that I get this. That I'm going to make sure that I try my best. I can't promise you that I'm going to get this answer, but I'm going to do my best because this is a great question and it's something that the fans should know. It's something that the people should know. What does leadership look like to the Houston Texans? So I'm gonna try to find you the answer. I don't want to talk about cooking. Good boy. Some of these people cooking. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Dang, Tay. I was about to get up off of here. You want to talk about that real quick? Let me talk about this real quickly, y'all. So, for those of y'all who don't know, I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I pledged at Prairie A&M University, the Eta Gamma chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. The Mac and Packing, never lacking, ass cracking Eta Gamma chapter. I went over fall 98. I've been a part of Alpha Phi Alpha for what is this? Going on 27 years. 27 years I've been a proud member. Now, I gotta get active again. I'm not finna sit here. Y'all know I ain't finna sit here and look. There's a saying that I got. I ain't gonna shit you. You my best turd. I'm not active right now, and I should be active. And you know what, brother Baker, you've been telling me to get active, and I'm gonna get active, especially after what happened with this pledging process with this young man. I'm definitely gonna get back active because I need to get out there. And so I can't speak for the process that young man went through at Southern University. I can't speak to what that young man went through uh, as he was pledging that fraternity. I don't know what their pledge process is. I have not a clue. I don't know. So I can't speak on it from that aspect. But if you look at what happened, right? If you look at what happened and you look and you see that this young man has passed away, right? And he passed away from complications due to the process that they were having. What that's telling you is something is wrong with that process. And if something is wrong with that process, then you got to look at the people who is in charge of that process. Now, I can't speak for that process. I can speak for the process that I went through. I can speak to the processes that I was a part of when I was after I became when I was a pro fight, when I was a neo, and then it was time to bring over the next line, and I became a pro fight. I can speak to those things, And I'm gonna keep that right there because, like I say, if y'all were waiting to hear about sports, like we started talking about sports a long time ago, and you can go back and you can rewatch this show and speed through all of the stuff. But I mean, this is this is it's the happy hour, but by the same token, it's after dark now. Yeah, hold on, let me pour a little something, something. Pour a little something, something in it. And I gotta be up at 3 in the morning for the gym. So let me say this, Tay, and you'll be able to relate to this because I see that you are in the military. It's the equivalent to having bad leadership, and y'all are out on a mission. It's the equivalent to having a bad person who's running the range when you got live ammo and you're not watching what's going on. It's the equivalent to not it's the equivalent to not making sure that your soldiers are properly hydrated, knowing y'all finna do a 12 to 15-mile ruck march. It's like not making sure that when you're in basic training in South Carolina and it's a Heat Cat 5, that everybody rolls up their sleeve because you still got some idiots. You got some assholes out there who is like, when I went through, this is what we did. But when I was in basic training, wasn't no such thing as a heat cat. Wasn't no such thing as getting too hot. You suffered. I mean, you suffered and you bared through it, and it made you a stronger soldier. Nah, you can't do that now. When I was coming through, when I was in basic training, my drill sergeant used to beat me up. My drill sergeant used to go upside my head. My drill sergeant used to this, that, and the other. But that was a different time in a different army. You have to evolve. So I preface that, and I'm saying that to you, Tay, because you'll understand. I preface that by saying, if you're part of a fraternity or sorority, and you're a part of these underground processes, right? If you're a part of these underground processes, because they really don't have any more, it shouldn't be any more of the processes from what I know. A lot of this stuff has changed since I came in 98. When I came in 98, we pledged. My statute of limitations is up. We pledged, but I had a dean who did things the right way, who came into the fraternity the right way and pledged my line the right way. You're not finna come in there and get stupid. You're not finna come in there and get wild. You're not finna come in there and get buck wild. And you're gonna make sure that when the dean or the assistant dean say something, you calm your ass down. They're in control. They're running this. And so from what I've been reading and from what I understand, they let it get out of hand. And when you let it get out of hand like that, and when you're not paying attention to what's going on, and if you're trying to do it how you used to do it, there's no possible way that if Alpha still had a pledging process, right? If there was still an underground process, because they don't do underground processes no more. But if Alpha still had an underground, if they had an underground process, and I showed up and I went to see a line, and then I said, "No, this ain't. It's 2025. Let me show you what we did in '98." That was 27 years ago. Things have changed. Things have evolved. You cannot do that anymore. And my heart goes out to that young man's family because this ain't the way it's supposed to happen. It's not the way it's supposed to happen. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I listen, my pledge process is what I didn't realize how much my pledging process prepared me for the army. Because I pledged first and then I went into the army later on in life. And so I'm in the army and I'm saying, well, wait a minute, hold on, they can't put their hands on me. Oh, they trying to mind F me. Oh, they trying to mess with my mind. Well, one, I'm too old for that. Then two, we use these same type of process when we bringing over prospects. Oh, you think that this chatter? Man, I'm thinking about the Cowboys going Super Bowl this year. I'm mad and upset because the Lakers and the Magic are playing, and I would love to see Kobe versus Dwight Howard, but I am in formation. You sitting there hollering this, that, under my face, bro. I'm a grown man. You know, when I was in the when I went to basic training, I was older than some of my drill sergeants. You're not gonna play this game with me. I'm cool. I will tune you out. This ain't shit to me. You hold on. I ain't got a point. I'm good. You can't put your hands on me. Oh nigga, I don't care. You can stand there cussing till you're blue in the face. I have totally tuned you out, my guy. So in my process was controlled and organized. And because that process that we went through, and then when we were responsible for bringing others through, when they had the process, right? When we was responsible for bringing them through, we brought them through the right way because we knew how we were brought through. And if you're not brought through the right way, and if you got a weak dean, and if you got a weak assistant dean, and if you got some weak profiles, and if you got some idiots that just want to show up and show what the fraternity and do, yeah, bro, I wear these letters proud, man. I wear these letters proud. No, no, little N-word, you gonna earn these. I ain't just gonna let you in my fraternity like that. It's not the way to do it, my guy. What are you teaching? If you're gonna put them through that type of process, that's what my dean said. Hey, don't do nothing to them if you ain't gonna teach them. If you're not gonna teach them, don't touch them. And if you don't like that, you can get out. You want to stay? Follow my rules. We ain't finna get wild. We're not finna get crazy. We ain't finna do none of that stuff. If you want to touch them, you better teach them. And so, like I said, yes, I heard about the young man. And like I said, I don't know anything about that fraternity's process. I heard it's very, very rigorous. I heard it's very strenuous as far as the physical aspect of it. The physical aspect of it, I heard that it's very strenuous and it gets very physical. I went through a physical process. I ain't go through a physical process like that fraternity. That's why most of them are athletes. So, yeah, they messed up the entire process. And those young men that are about to be prosecuted for that, you deserve it. None of your family should be walking around with t-shirts that say free such and such. If you did it, you took somebody's child away from here because you want to be ignorant. All right. We just having barbershop talk, of course. Bro, for sure. So the transaction was expensive. Yeah, you're right. You are right. I seriously was corrupting this tie bag. Oh, for real? Yeah, because the dude, the young man that passed away, wasn't his father a police officer? His father was a former police officer or something like that. All I'm gonna say is, man, it's a tragic, and like I said, my heart goes out to that young man's family, and it's a better way. It's definitely a better way. Everybody who was involved in that process needs to be they got to be checked because that's not how it's supposed to go. All right, y'all. This has been a fun 2 hours. I got to go to bed. I told my wife I was going to do this about 45 minutes. That was an hour and something ago. She probably like, "Where? Hey, bruh, where you at?" I'm coming. Ooh, ah. Pop go to Weasel because the Weasel go pop. Big Sarge. Hold on. I see y'all tomorrow. I'm out.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what you say. Hard work, work, work. Earn more pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of cold.
Hey, don't come in my on my show all late and then try to start some stuff. Where was you at long time ago? Didn't I join your show when y'all was in peak hours? I was at the Toyota Center and joined y'all show.